Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
For the Vikings, they really followed their pattern. If you look at what Rick Spielman has done through the years, and certainly with Mike Zimmer, they generally target one or two free agents every year. One or two guys that they are willing to pay. This year it was Dalvin Tomlinson, who got, I think it was $12.5 million a year, somewhere in there. And then the surprise, because usually there's one in that second wave when a market doesn't develop on a long-term deal. This year was Patrick Peterson coming in on 1 year, roughly $10 million, I think, with upside contract for him. So two big pieces in that defense. That really fits the Vikings' long-term MO.
I think the big takeaway there from our good friend Tom Pelissero is that there's a 90% chance he's not wearing pants in the basement of his home right there. Judd, confirm?
Insider info, too.
Oh, he's probably wearing shorts. And you know what, though? If I'm going on VEN, I'm not going the tie.
Oh, was that Vikings Entertainment Network? Or was it
with Gabe Henderson?
Yeah. So he was talking to Gabe. So yeah, I'm not going tie there. Now he might have been doing his own stuff, which would explain the tie. But if it's straight up, I'm going on Vikings Entertainment Network.
You're going cash. You're going casual. I don't know if what you're wearing qualifies as casual. I think it qualifies more as homeless. But
no, I just got this at Target. I bought a bunch of these shirts. They're super comfortable. I really like them. Great summer look for me.
Well, this is Purple Daily. Not only are we entertaining you, ideally, through the prism of Vikings, we are also fashionistas here on the show. I'm not sure if you knew that. Presented by TCL. Enjoy more of what you love with TCL. Phil Mackey, Judd Zolgad, and Declan Goff. And boys, let's hit it. Let's get right into the Write That Down session here. I totally put Declan on the spot there.
Most make predictions and then never admit they're wrong. Yeah, that's not Mackie and Judd. This is the place where we just totally own our horrible predictions. Write this down. And eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Write that down. It's Write That Down. Write it down. You like writing things down? With Mackie and Judd.
Honestly, a good producer probably should just have this intro on the same page as the other intros.
But just for whatever reason, copy and throw it over there.
And for whatever reason, I just keep it on MJR drops. And I know no one's probably know what I'm talking about right now, but imagine having two tabs on your your Google Chrome, and I had to switch to another tab, scroll down, and hit the thing. So that was.
I think what happened there was we called a play in the huddle, and then Declan's the button that Declan needed lined up on the left side instead of the right side. So I'm Kirk Cousins. I turned to hand the ball off, and Dalvin Cook was on the other side there. And the ball hit the ground. It was wildly uncomfortable.
I don't have 10 seconds.
You know what that was? That was Rosario last year not knowing the ground rules at his home ballpark.
Yeah, that's true.
Declan didn't know the ground rules at his home ballpark.
So that means I got a game-winning hit though before the day is over. So
you do a lot of good things, but there's just times where you don't do good things, and that's how you get to Cleveland.
Job. Yeah.
All right. So
enjoy Cleveland.
Enough of this self-gratification here. Here's how this works. This is Write That Down, and we are the only show in America that keeps track of our predictions, holds each other accountable, and puts our careers and reputations on the line every single week. We've got the Mackie and Judd classic Write That Down on our other daily show, and then football-centric Write That Down here on Purple Daily every week.
Write this down.
So 3 Vikings or football-related predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns. And if you want to participate like Steve is about to from his awesome kick-ass man cave, you can send us a message through the Score North app. Just click or tap on the feedback tab at the bottom and send a note to Declan. And boys, a couple things. Judd, you actually asked for this to come off the board last week. You conceded this one.
Yes.
I don't know if Geno Atkins has signed elsewhere, but Sheldon Richardson signing with the Vikings pretty much puts an end to the Vikings will sign Geno Atkins prediction that you made. So we'll take that off the board. And we'll go through some predictions that are still on the board here as well. Like Judd said, Brian O'Neill will be the Vikings' Week 1 left tackle.
Yeah.
Is there even like a 5%? Like, let's say Christian Darrisaw tweaks an ankle or just isn't that good or something. They would just put Rashad Hill at left tackle probably?
Yes. That's going to come off the board as a red loss for me as well.
Okay. Well, you never know what'll happen. We'll see if there's some sort of medical emergency that forces it. We'll leave it on the board. I said the Vikings will either restructure Kirk's contract again or trade him before July 1st. Well, technically they have about, 12 hours to do so, but I'm going to say that's probably a no. I did also predict that Justin Jefferson will have more receiving yards than Stephon Diggs this year, which is a lofty prediction. I stand by it. I think it's a product of opportunity. Diggs is getting more opportunities with Josh Allen and the way that Bills offense is called, but I'm going to stand by this.
You got a lot of faith in Zim to allow Clint Kubiak to call passing plays.
A lot of hashtag faith.
Don't have the same faith.
Keep the faith.
Listener predictions. Ryan, this is one that's still on the board. Ryan has Larry Fitzgerald not being on the Vikings opening day roster, but Smith Marset as the third wide receiver. Any news on Larry Fitzgerald?
I was going to ask you that. Is he going to play?
Yeah,
I don't think. Yeah,
I don't think he's going back to the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Let's come on over here. A couple targets in the red zone every single week. Put on that purple jersey. Declan, nothing off the board for you, but you did say Joe Burrow will not start week 1 for the Bengals against the Vikings. He's all over his own social media saying, like, hey, after minicamp was over, hey, I'm ready to rock. I'll see you guys in September. So Vikings might have to gear up for Joey Burrow.
That could happen. I say on social media I'm going to do a lot of things too, and then by week 1 I fall short of those expectations. So we'll also see what happens there. Comparing myself to Joe Burrow.
I think a lot of people would compare you to Joe Burrow.
Yeah, thank you.
High upside, good hair. Yeah.
Who's got the better hair?
Weak knees.
Weak knees.
Wobbly knees.
Brittle, yeah. All right, so Judd Zulgad currently leading 37% completions, no touchdowns. Declan, 34% completions, no touchdowns. I'm at 28% completions, 5 touchdowns. Listeners, 27%, 1 touchdown. And those are the stats here. So let's get our guy in here. This is a man cave for the ages here from Steve, sitting below his neon 1930s Budweiser sign. What's up, Steve?
Not much. How you guys doing today?
Good.
We're ready to throw the ball down the field.
Awesome.
So can you actually just give us real quick a tour? I'll even take this off the screen. There we go.
Here
Okay.
we go.
So give us a tour of your man cave here.
All right. I got to light them up here quick, but give me a second here.
So Steve, for the podcast audience, Steve collects old Budweiser memorabilia, signage. I mean, we're literally looking at like 8 amazing old. There's more than 8. It looks like you have about 20 different Budweiser signs.
Yeah, and then these are 2 from the 1930s and 40s as well. So you can see those.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I even got a stained glass pool table light too to go with it.
Look at that, man.
So
Now, Steve, not to get too personal here, but are you? Do you live alone? Are you married?
Oh, I'm married, but thank
Okay.
you. My wife is very understandable because she knows that he needs the hobby in life. So
Yeah.
What was the negotiation to devote an entire wing of your house to just old Budweiser signs? What does the rest of your house look like? What was the concession you had to make to get this green lit?
She's got lots of rooms, I guarantee
she gets
you.
the rest of the house. I get
Yep.
the basement. That was pretty much the deal we made. It's simple as that. So yeah, pretty much that was it. I actually want one more thing. I even got my own Budweiser throne chair too as well.
Look at that,
wow.
dude.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
So I've been.
You could cut a hole in the bottom of that thing and just never move.
Pretty much. I'm good to go. I got my big screen TV now. So yeah, we're good to go.
Love that.
Watching Vikings every Sunday, and they'll rip my heart out like usual every year. But we're
right.
prepared for that. So
Yeah. Well, so Steve is here. He's the guest listener predictor on Write That Down. And so the way it works is we're going to start with Steve, over to Judd, Declan, back to me, Phil. We'll go around the room 3 times. They must have something to do with football, and they must be quantifiable in some way. That's the old Karl Anthony Towns will be the man by the end of the season rule that we instituted about 4 years ago on Mackie and Judd. So, Steve, you lead us off here. You're under center. Fire away.
all right, we're gonna increase the hits as we go here, but I'll start with an easy one. I'm gonna say that the Vikings will sign D.D. Westbrook before training camp starts and end of July.
Dex, you guys talked about that on Ventline a couple weeks ago, I feel like.
We did talk about this. They were very bullish, our Vikings fans, on bringing in another third wide receiver, DD being kind of the highlighted one of them.
The problem is, like, I feel like we wring our hands every offseason about who's the Vikings' third wide receiver going to be. I mean, they don't even use a third wide receiver half the time. Like, they in terms of targets and the way the offense is schemed up, it's 2 wide receivers, Dalvin Cook, and then oftentimes 2 tight ends. So, I mean, it's kind of semantics, but I think Irv Smith should be the one that gets the targets as a quote unquote third receiver.
It's potentially important if Thielen gets hurt, I think.
Yeah, for
because
depth,
he does
absolutely.
get hurt. So like if you don't have a third guy that you trust, BC Johnson's going to be great, and he's not, that could be a problem. But yeah, they are not going to use like this whole notion the offense is going to change because Clint Kubiak's not his dad. Yeah, you know what? Zimmer's going to say, Clint, I liked what your dad did. Can you do the same thing? And he'll be like, yes, sir, no problem.
Call your dad. Just call your dad. Yeah. Have him help you out there.
Consult with your dad on his farm in Texas.
By the way, I saw a picture of Adam Thielen at the beach with his family, like a shirtless Adam Thielen.
Just had a kid. Congratulations,
dude.
Too.
That dude is jacked right now.
He's pretty ripped.
Like just no body fat. Oh man. Speaking of no body fat, Judd
you
Zolgad,
ain't seen me with no shirt on, okay?
Oh, God.
Like let's not get too far ahead of ourselves with Thielen when you do as much working out as I do. All right. This season will be the last for Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth in the Sunday Night Football booth on NBC. I think it's going to be, 2022 is going to usher in the Mike Tirico, Drew Brees era. Drew Brees didn't take that job not to have a really high profile job. So I think he's going to be in the studio for this year. But anyway, Al Michaels and Collinsworth, they won't be unemployed. In fact, I think Michaels has been talking to Amazon about their package, but they will be out at NBC after this year.
Interesting. So Michaels is a legend, basically since the Miracle on Ice 40 years ago. He's just been Mount Rushmore of play-by-play guys in this country. But like I've had enough Al Michaels. I don't need more Al Michaels in my life. I'm good. I love his little gambling references. I still feel like I need 5 or 10 more years of Chris Collinsworth and the slide in. I'm not ready to lose Chris Collinsworth from my football viewing experience. I don't know about you guys.
I like him a lot, but Brees, I don't think Brees is going to sit there and do studio work the whole time, and I wouldn't be surprised. And now what they might do, where I could be wrong, is what if they went Tirico, Collinsworth, Brees, 3-man booth? Because Collinsworth
3-man booth
used to be with Joe Buck and Aikman on Fox.
Yeah.
So he's been in a 3-man booth before, but I think there's going to be changes after this season.
And then so Tirico could start the broadcast in the middle of the frame, and then both Brees and Collinsworth could slide in from opposite directions. I mean,
and collide.
That'd be amazing.
Oh my God, they've collided. They're injured. Who do we got next?
Tirico is unresponsive.
My
my
God.
Clear.
All right, Declan, your first prediction.
All right. Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, or Justin Jefferson will miss time in training camp with an injury.
Okay.
One of those three is going to get injured. They're going to miss time when then we're going to start the panic button. But Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, or Justin Jefferson will miss time in training camp with an injury.
They'd have to pull a muscle, which I suppose could happen.
And I know training camp's kind of weird because like people get held out. So there might be some semantics involved here.
No.
Is it pretty obvious?
Cut and dry. If a guy misses practice or something.
Well, but what if they missed one practice and it's clear that they're resting? I feel like we need a report that they are
right.
Okay.
Or multiple practices. This is kind of a committee decision, I think. Yeah. Just because.
Write that down.
And I'm gonna piggyback off that, and this will be another committee decision. Mike Zimmer gets really annoyed when players miss practice, and there's already fewer practices, and like you're just able to do less in the off season, right? So write this down. Mike Zimmer, at some point during, I'll say from the start of training camp to the beginning of the regular season, so the whole like lead up to week 1, Mike Zimmer will make some sort of comment signaling that he's annoyed with a player not being at practice because of injury. And I get that this is tough to quantify, but I'm going to lean on the committee here. If I see something in a quote, I'll bring it to you guys, and then we can judge it.
All right.
He's oftentimes passive aggressive with it, right?
Yep.
He'll make a little comment here. Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, let's say Adam. Now he wouldn't do it to Thielen. Let's say Cam Dantzler or something is out for like 3 days. If he makes a comment like, I don't know, I haven't seen him around, or like something like that where he's clearly annoyed that the guy's injured, I'll present it and we can decide.
Okay.
Write that down.
All right, back over to Steve in the man cave.
All right.
Bud cave.
That's what I call it, Bud Cave. Let's see. Next one. Okay, since we're going all in on defense here, because this might be Mike Zimmer's last year. I hope it is off the record. I predict that the Vikings will trade for Stephon Gilmore before the trade deadline this season.
Whoa, dude! Wow, this is segment within a segment here.
Yes.
Reckless speculation. Write this down.
Wow.
That
I
is
love that, man.
coming in with a high heat right there.
I mean, they're in a weird spot because, like, they signed Breland and they got Cam Dantzler. But what if they decide, oh, sorry, I know Breland, I know we just twisted your arm and gave you more money, but like, there's, if Stephon Gilmore is available or something, I don't know. We'll see.
And what do you trade at that point too? But they're desperate, so do you? Wow, that's a great one. I love that. All right, Cliff Kingsbury will be fired by the Cardinals either during the season or at the end of it.
Wow.
Cliff Kingsbury, who was, by the way, fired in college, so like this was not a slam dunk candidate.
He was fired from Texas Tech, right?
Yeah. So he and then I think he agreed to become USC's OC, and then he got the job with the Cardinals. He will be fired by the Cardinals, who aren't exactly a bastion of stability when it comes to head coaches, either Declan during the season or at the end of it. So before the new league year begins next March.
For some reason, I feel like Judd made a similar Cliff Kingsbury
I had the same
prediction.
Yep, I had the same thought. I'm having a foreshadowing or a deja vu that you made this prediction already.
I'm going to do a search through my master database here. A Cliff Kingsbury. It might be on Mackey and Judd. You might have done this on Mackey and Judd.
Or even it could have been a listener too, but someone did something with Cliff Kingsbury being fired, I think, mid-season.
Nope, not me. I just searched through it.
It was listener Jamie on Mackey and Judd that he'll be fired after the season, and then he parlayed it with Eric Bieniemy or Byron Leftwich will be the next coach.
I'm saying Kingsbury will be fired either during the season or after it.
Okay.
Oh, no love for Cliff Kingsbury.
Wait till my last one.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Okay.
That's what podcast tease.
All right. Dex?
All right. Brian O'Neill will get at least $40 million guaranteed in his next contract. Brian O'Neill will get $40 million guaranteed in his next contract. Ryan Ramczyk, is it Ramczyk?
Yes.
For the Saints. He just got $60 million guaranteed on a 5-year, $96 million extension. I'll say Brian O'Neill gets. I don't think he gets 50, but I think he gets at least 40.
I don't know.
Yeah, you want to write that down?
Pretty good.
I'm kind of curious.
It was seeking, was it $14 million a year? I think I read that somewhere.
Something like that sounds about right. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. I've just got because I'm always just perusing through Pro Football Focus. Even when I sleep, I've just got the screen open, just staring at me.
Yeah, I hear your wife's a big fan of PFF.
Loves PFF.
Honey, are you reading PFF again?
PFF.
Hold on, honey. This is really hot.
What he's thinking about?
This is really hot. Let me read you these quarterback ratings.
Baby, have you seen the interior pass protection grades on? So Ryan Ramczyk was the 14th highest graded offensive tackle in the NFL last year, out of, I don't know, like 80. Brian O'Neill was 24th. So that's pretty accurate. I think you can there's a case to be made that Ramczyk is a level above, like a half level above maybe Brian O'Neill. So Declan coming in with a good slot there.
Write this down.
All right, my next prediction is presented by our new friends here on Purple Daily. The most comfortable boxers and boxer briefs. I'm speaking for all three of us across the board. They sent us some Chill Boys. They sent us some to try on a couple weeks ago, and I've just been wearing the same pair for 2 weeks. It's so comfortable.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
I haven't even washed them yet. It's just amazing. But Chill Boys is a Minnesota-based company. It's the most comfortable boxers and boxer briefs, bamboo fabric that we've ever worn. And you should check them out at chillboys.com. Support a Minnesota company and support Purple Daily. And support your boys.
Yeah, your boys are important.
Life-changing, life-altering, cool as can be. And I'm going to say this very carefully. I broke open a new package of Chill Boys today. I am wearing them right now.
Dude.
The comfort is off the charts. And
it
look,
is off the charts.
I'm a guy that loves boxers, and I've long looked for a pair. The incredible thing is Chill Boys is also incredibly comfortable around the waist, which to me is absolutely imperative.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge starting point. It's comfortable. It's comfort below, but it's comfort around the waist, which you can't discount.
Yeah. I'll tell you, NFL players like to spend some time in the cold tub, too. It's like a cold tub for your boys all day long. All right? Chillboys.com to get yours. All right, here's the next prediction.
Write this down.
Write this down. I think Brian O'Neill is going to sign a contract. I don't know. I'm not going to go with a contract prediction like Declan did, like a guarantee money, but I'm going to say that contract gets done by the start of training camp. Brian O'Neill, new contract. That's right, a new contract, Judd. By the start
Well,
of
he
Vikings
would get a new contract. That's
camp.
accurate. That one's accurate, unlike your last one, which you guys both patted yourselves on the back and took credit for when you didn't deserve it.
I love how your argument was you talked about his old contract in your argument, which would then, or his previous contract.
Which was restructured, but not new. Brian O'Neill will get a new contract.
God, it is new.
No, it's not new.
You are just upset that the breakdown audience is finally against you, which
Watch
is now
as much
welcome to my hell.
L&O as I do, and then you tell me. I basically have a law degree, okay?
Okay.
Oh, okay, all right.
I basically have a law degree. You watch as much law and order as I have through the years. I have an honorary law degree.
All right.
Okay. All right, tough guy.
All right.
Okay, back over to Steve here in the Bud Cave. Your third prediction.
All right, quickly before I make my last prediction here, we should get a new Twitter poll up here, Declan. What do you think is dirtier, Mackey's underwear or Judd's beard? What do you think? Which one's dirtier right now? What do you think?
Right now,
you took a shower.
It is a good poll.
Use some soap in it.
I can tell you whose is softer and more comfortable.
Oh yeah, that's Phil's got me beat with the Chill Boys.
I don't know if I actually want to answer this question.
All right, here's my last one. I hope this. I would call it a grand slam. I'll call it a home run. I think though, the Vikings will trade for Chandler Jones before the season starts.
Whoa.
Year. Vikings will trade for Chandler Jones before the season starts this year. That's my.
I just want to see if there's any what the speculation is right now. So, all right, Raising Zona. Here's a blog: 3 teams that could trade for Chandler Jones before the season starts. I want to see if the Vikings are on here. Oh, this is actually by Adam Patrick, who's a Vikings.
Oh,
he's a Vikings blogger and apparently writes also for. That's kind of fraudulent. He's also writing for the Cardinals blog, huh?
That guy's a clown.
Oh, you're not a fan?
I'm sorry. Did you just call him a clown? That's a great term, by the way. I love.
We should just get we should just settle Vikings social media beefs here on Purple Daily. All right, Steve B from the Bud Cave and blogger Adam are gonna have it out. Ding ding ding,
dude.
Sorry, but better put it in Jericho's terms. He's an ass clown.
There he is.
Steve just going in hot.
Wow.
Right now.
Sorry.
Oh man. So Steve, you've made 3 great predictions, and you've got this life-changing platform here. You're ripping Vikings bloggers. Who would you like to thank in your life that got you to this point right here?
I've been happily married 5 years. I was gonna say I have my first son is on the way, due in October. So
nice.
Hopefully future Vikings depressing like we all are, as well. I gotta give a shout out to my buddy Tyler Fornes. I've known him for about 10 years now.
Oh, cool.
Oh, he's great, man. Yeah.
We've had him on. He's a really good friend of mine. He was in my wedding. We're good buds. I've known him for a long time.
Cool.
I hope you guys have him on again. He does great work. He's one of the dark horses that coming up here. So
yeah, he puts in ridiculous work on draft coverage, and I mean we had him on a couple times. Put a quarter in him and said, just tell us about the 5th round. All right, go.
Exactly.
He is not a clown.
No, he is not.
Nor is he an ass clown.
He's a good
Steve,
bud.
I heard there was a bachelor party weekend involving him last week. Was that correct?
There was. I had to work. We work for the same liquor company, but unfortunately I couldn't go. But yeah,
I wanted some stories.
So you guys know Thor pretty well, obviously too. Where they're good buddies. Thor has evidence. Thor posted on Twitter. It's there. There's video evidence on Twitter somewhere of that bachelor party. I can promise you that. Oh, and one last thing I was gonna say. I've been a wrestling fan my entire life too, you guys. So. Lifelong wrestling fan. It will be
The Rock knows how you feel about pie.
There you go. Anyway, I just want to thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. I love you guys with work. I've been following you guys for years. Keep doing what you do, and I'll keep listening. So,
awesome, man. Steve, thank you so much, man. We'll get Steve on again to throw some passes here and write that down. And your check's in the mail for all those kind words you just said about us and our shows and careers.
That's a great man cave, too.
It is awesome.
Yeah, man.
It is awesome, yeah. All right, Judd, we'll take a final lap around here.
Okay, so we talked about the list that NFL.com did yesterday on quarterbacks and coach duos who are under pressure. Mm-hmm. And I was surprised that Matthew Stafford, who just got to the Rams, and Sean McVay were high on that list because there's pressure for them to win, but I also don't feel like if it doesn't work, it's going to blow up. But I think it will work. In fact, I think it's going to work so well. And Stafford has been buried so long in Detroit, and I think he's a very good quarterback who is stuck. Matthew Stafford will be the Associated Press NFL MVP for the 2021 season.
Wow.
Matthew Stafford is going to be...
Holy cow.
to win and this is the big one. This is not like the Maxwell Award or something. This is the big one, the AP NFL MVP, which is the one the league recognizes. I think between McVay and Stafford and that Rams team, I think they're sitting on a fairly substantial year.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, some of it's too, it's perception too, right? Like, even if Pat Mahomes is really the best quarterback, if Matt Stafford, makes a big jump, there's a human element at play with voting too. So that would be an interesting story. I think people are rooting for him.
Goff couldn't do it, right? Like Goff couldn't get them past that point.
Yep.
And Stafford was buried in Detroit. And I mean, I've always liked him, but there just came a point in time where you're a Detroit Lion and you're sort of screwed.
Yeah, I think, it feels to me like a lot of people are just like Stafford fought through injuries. He fought through that organization and just the ineptitude. And so I would like to see that guy have some success. Mm-hmm. If the Vikings play the Rams in the NFC Championship game, I'd like to see him fail. But,
write this down.
I wish him success up until it makes sense. Declan, your final prediction.
All right, my final prediction, Drew Lock will be the Broncos starting quarterback in week 1.
Not Aaron Rodgers?
Not Aaron Rodgers, not Teddy B. And I know I'm hedging there because I made an Aaron Rodgers prediction.
Sounds sad,
that he'd be there. Well, I was doing some digging on my two guys, which is just again amazing quarterback room in Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. Drew Lock's been changing up his footwork. He's been working with Peyton Manning in the offseason. He's taking things a lot more seriously. And even though I believe our guy Pat Shurmur is now the new OC in Denver, who probably would favor Teddy, sounds like Drew Lock's got the leg up in winning that job. So I'm going to say Drew Lock is the Broncos starting quarterback in week 1.
Right.
Don't forget, Pat had one of the most incredible coordinator years in Vikings history too.
Yeah.
Like that was his baby. And he took Case Keenum. I mean, they lose Bradford after week 1 and he takes Case Keenum.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves a ton of credit for that.
Yeah. All right, final prediction here, boys.
Write this down.
Write this down. You all think that Clint Kubiak's going to come in here and just fall in line and hand the ball off, just a handoff machine, just depositing that ball into Dalvin Cook's breadbasket, 40 times every day. It's what Mike Zimmer wants. Write this down. The Vikings will dial up a flea flicker in week 1 of the regular season. Clint Kubiak going to show off a little creativity, a little flash. Right. He will dial up a flea flicker in week 1. So the Vikings will run a flea flicker against the Bengals.
And you're not going to give us a result?
Why are you trying to bait me into parlays?
So like Kirk,
this is a home run as it is. This is a home run.
This is
a touchdown pass.
Safety picks it off.
I've got 5 touchdowns. You have none, and
you're still
maybe you should work on your own touchdowns.
Yeah, how about you work on your own touchdown pass?
Yeah,
write this down.
Solgad.
I just was asking.
So those are the write that down predictions and the accountability session for the week here on Purple Daily, presented in part by our friends at Federated Mutual Insurance Company. Federated's been here for over 100 years in the state of Minnesota. And you can go to the website, federatedinsurance.com, and find a full list of industries that they protect. But I mean, it's a wide range: auto services, contractors, woodworkers, retailers, wholesalers, even funeral services, and fuel marketers. And they help you sleep better at night if you're a business owner, whether it's liabilities, risk, all the things that could potentially be a problem for your business. They offer all kinds of products, resources, and guidance. Federatedinsurance.com. And remember, at Federated, it's our business to protect yours. Boys, it's time for the random Viking of the week here on Purple Daily. And I'm going to give you guys a chance to guess here. I think this might be the fun way to do it going forward. All right?
Yes.
I'm going to give you guys a chance to guess the random Viking of the week.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Executive producer move there. Sliding.
Told you I got Eddie Rosario. I got a game winning hit.
He's all over the place. He's all over the place.
Okay. So and we'll see if I'm going to pit you guys against each other here. And I'm going to go clue by clue here. Mm-hmm. And you can jump in. You're going to get 3 wrong guesses. So burn them however you want to. So each one of you gets 3 wrong guesses. You're against each other, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This quarterback, in his best season, put up a 95.4 passer rating for the Vikings.
Okay.
Don't be bashful. You get 3 wrong guesses each, so feel free to.
I was going to wait for 2 clues before I started my guesses.
Okay.
Declan, you're free to go first if you want. Declan, you're free to talk if you like.
Can you
Declan, are you there?
Can you say the question?
Declan, are you okay? Are you frozen again? Has the internet at Hubbard frozen again?
This former Vikings quarterback put up a 95.4 passer rating in his best year as a starter for the Vikings.
Tavares Jackson.
Whoa, dude. What?
See, there you go.
What? Dude, that is ridiculous. Are you serious? Oh, yes. Let's go.
Can I ask a question? Could you have come up with a more predictable random Viking of the week than Tavares Jackson?
What do you mean more predictable? You didn't predict it? I thought I was gonna throw it out. I thought I was throwing you off the scent because people think, oh, he's garbage, right?
You know what? Declan took the first shot and it went in. Good for you.
In 2008,
that was nice.
Yep.
T-Jack,
he went off those last month.
He did. So he started 5 games and he had a 95.4 passer rating, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1,000 yards in those games. He came on in relief. He had that one game against the Cardinals where he came on in relief.
They were
player of the week.
They had smoked dope all week. That was the problem.
So
the Cardinals were the Cardinals. The Cardinals had clinched the division for the first time back then. I think it was since like 1974, and spent the entire week partying. And came in, and the Vikings destroyed him. And Childress is like, "This is Tavares. Gus will never get his job back." And we're all like, "Dude, just give the good job back to Gus." No, this isn't going to work.
Amazing.
But anyway, Declan, congratulations. That was really good.
The random Viking of the week.
That was a quick random. Viking
I don't regret that clue at all. Jackson. That was just an amazing guess, man.
That was good.
It was between that and Keenum. Like I was like, someone had that's a damn good passer rating. So I figured it was between him or Keenum.
Yeah. So all right, that's a wrap on today's episode.
Eddie Rosario, baby.
Declan,
I thought that was literally an Eddie Rosario performance.
Suspense here, buddy. Okay.
Real quick on T-Jack too, like, we watched him. Judd and I both covered a lot of those training camps and practices in the T-Jack era, and there were a couple practices where you're watching this dude like pump rolling out, pump faking, like throwing darts. Like he was a god in 7-on-7 drills when you replaced the defensive lineman with trash cans, and you could just sit back there and pick apart.
He had a good hose, man. Mm-hmm. As Chili said, good hose, man. That guy could air the ball out. Unfortunately,
can really air it out.
Thanks,
Brad.
I think Childress' biggest problem with Tavares was his. How did Brad put it, Phil? Tavares' inability to spit out the play in the huddle, enunciate.
He needs to spit out the play.
Like he would
talk too fast or mumble too much or something. And
like Brad was fixated with the fact that the West Coast guy, because there's so much to go through, like Favre does. There's so much to go through that he didn't enunciate it out enough or something.
and Tahi's like, "What? Am I supposed to be out here?" No.
Hey guys, what's up?
That was Favre actually, but yeah. All right, thanks for hanging out with us. We didn't get have time to do this today. There is another fun list, and we love lists about where the Vikings roster ranks in the NFL. So we'll probably do that tomorrow or Friday. We'll see you guys later. Daily Vikings Entertainment, Purple Daily.